Okay, day 2, question 1 then. Find the value of 0.6 times 0.1. Now remember, when you multiply with decimals, you just ignore the decimal points, okay? So pretend they're not there. And if they're not there, this would be 0.6, which of course is just 6, isn't it? And then you've got 0.1 there, which is just 1. So ignoring decimal points, you're just doing 6 times 1. And of course, 6 times 1 is actually equal to 6. That's easy enough, isn't it? But then we go back to the decimal situation here, and then we realise, okay, we have got decimal points here, and what we do is we just count how many decimal places there are. So we've got 1 decimal place there and 1 here. In total, we've got 2 decimal places. So we go back to our answer here, which was 6, and we need to have 2 decimal places. So we can write 6 as 0.6, okay, and there's our 2 decimal places, okay? So we could have then 0.06 for our 2 decimal places in our answer. Okay, part B, a subtracting one, 23.1, take away 15.48. Now when you're taking away, right, it's so important that you line up the decimal points, okay? So if I line up the decimal points as such, 23.1, 15.48, and then we're going to take away, okay? Now when we take away, of course, we need to start on the right-hand side, okay? And if you notice here, on the right hand side, you've got sort of nothing here, take away 8. So we need to fill this gap. So we put a 0 there to represent nothing. 0 take away 8. Now, of course, you can't do, can you? You can't do 0 take away 8. You end up with a negative answer. We don't want that, correct? So 0 take away 8 you can't do. So we've got to borrow from this 1. Okay, if I borrow from that 1, I cross off that 1 and change that then, because I borrow 1 from it, it becomes a 0. And the 1 I borrow, I put then next here to that 0, so we end up having 10 here. 10 take away 8 is 2. And now I've got 0 here, take away 4. Now 0 take away 4, again we can't do that. So we go to the next number along, which is 3. I'm going to borrow 1 from that and change that to a 2. And the 1 I borrow I put here. So this becomes a 10. So 10 take away 4 is 6. Decimal points are lined up, so we must have them down here. 2 take away 5, well again we can't do that. So we need to borrow from here. Borrow 1 from here, that makes that a 1, and then the 1 I borrow, put it here, so we've got 12. 12 take away 5 is 7, and then 1 take away 1 is nothing, so we get our answer 7.62. Okay, part C, 2 to the power 4 times 3 squared, okay? Now, what I would do is I'd work these out separately, okay? So let's do 2 to the power 4 first, right? So that would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? That's what that means. The power 4 means you multiply it 4 times. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Now we're working this out. Take your time. Do them in pairs. So 2 times 2 is 4. Times that answer then by 2. So that's 4, remember. Times that by 2, you get 8. Times that by 2 again. 8 times 2 is 16. Do the same then. 3 squared. 3 squared, well, because its power is 2, there's 2 of them. So 3 times 3 is 9. Alright, and then what you need to do is work out then, you've got 2 to the power 4 as 16. Okay, that's 16, and then 3 squared is 9, but don't forget now we multiply them. So 16 times 9. Okay, that's what you need to do. There's a number of ways you could do 16 times 9. Okay, number of ways. You could split it up. You could do 10 times 9 and 6 times 9. You could split up 16 like that. Okay, if you wanted to. So 10 times 9 is 90, 6 times 9 is 54, and then add them so you get 144. Okay. The other way of doing it is you could do, instead of doing 16 times 9, you could do 16 times 10. Yeah, you know, if you think about it, 16 times 10 is 160, just add a 0. But of course I want 16 times 9. So if you think it is like 1 less 16 then, isn't it? So you just take 16 off from that and you get 144. So that's another way of doing it. Anyway, part D, fractions here taken away. Now when you take away fractions, don't forget you need to get the bottom values the same, right? Before we take away. Now they're not the same here. So we need to find a number that 12 and 3 go into, okay? So 12 is what I'm thinking of. We can actually keep that as it is, 7 twelfths. The third will change. So that's out of 12, okay. 3 goes into 12, doesn't it? Now, what am I doing to 3? Well, I'm timesing it by 4, aren't I? You times 3 by 4, you get 12. Got to times the top number by 4 as well, so you get 4. So my overall answer then will be, well, 7/12. As I said, keep that as it is because it's already at the 12, but then you've taken away then 1/3, which is 4/12. And then you can take away, because we changed the third to 4/12. So we can do this now. 7 take away 4 is 3, so 3/12. Okay, and that's your answer. But you know, with this now, you could ask yourself, could I simplify it? And actually, you can simplify this, can't you? You know, we don't have to leave the fraction like this, because if you notice, the top and bottom both are a multiple of 3, so we could divide by 3, so you get 4 there, and if I divide the top by 3 as well, I get 1. So my answer is 1/4.